What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 4 of Drafting to Masters. The last episode didn't go as well as we had hoped. It was our first foray out of Ixton and Genev, so kinda not surprised by that. In case you missed it, I've included the playlist for this season in the top right corner of this video. Also, if you haven't checked out our Drafting with Masters episode with Paradox, I thought we had really good discussion during the drafting phases, and the games were interesting too. Hopefully this time we can get closer to Diamond and maybe start making our way through it. So without further ado, let's get into another draft. Well, there are two really strong cards here, and then there's also a bomb. Conflagrate is great removal. Mighty Strikes puts fear in every single opponent and is a great way to close out games because of the overwhelm. But Shadowland's Border Scout seems, even though it's a small flyer, it seems like it can just take over a game. If your opponent doesn't have an answer for this, or you put a weapon on it, fantastic. Additionally, it has the nice keyword of pledge on there as well, so I'm definitely going to take this as a first pick. Have a couple of interesting options here. Warband Scald I think is fine. Coastal Beastmaster is a fantastic card. Barrel Through is good as well, but I think it's below the other two. And Locust is quite good too, but Elysian doesn't really put you in a place except Aurelian, which is not very exciting. As I've said over and over again, base Skycrag is kind of where you want to be. So I'm going to pick the Beastmaster here because maybe we still end up base Skycrag. But if I end up in Ixton, I'm not upset having Beastmaster by any means. Warband Scald, I'm a little less high on, so I think I'm going to take Beastmaster here. Mischief Yeti seems fine in this situation. We want to be base Primal for sure because of Shadowland's Border Scout. Other cards aren't that exciting. I haven't played with Plunder. Seems like it could be okay, but it's very slow. Other cards worth noting would be Infused Guardian, but with us picking Coastal Beastmaster, we would lean more towards on-color cards at this point. Coastal Huntsman is a great pickup here. You've also got Bear Arms, which is nice, and 2 tokens that fix for 2 of our factions. But I'm just going to pick the Coastal Huntsman. It's a great renown card and in Primal, so 2 drops are important. Wow, that's a lot of shadow cards coming through. Could take Keratin Steward here. Primal Shadow also only puts you in Aurelian. Keratin Steward is much better than Court Mage, so it might be worth pivoting here and taking the Keratin Steward rather than just sticking to our guns and forcing into Ixton. So the last pack could have just been an anomaly. Maybe we're not actually going to see all that much shadow. Breath Stealer is nothing to write home about. There is another Infused Guardian, which I think is good. We've also got Fireheart Recruit, which isn't far behind, and I think I'm just going to take that here. Another Beastmaster is fantastic. I think we'll take that over Dune Painter. Lens of Clarity we won't play. We might play Lethrai Courtier if we end up in Aurelian, so I think we'll take that over the Lens of Clarity. Once again, if we end up in Aurelian, Tumbling Sloth is good for us, and the other cards are just not good at all. It seems like more and more we're going to end up in Aurelian because Sirocco Glider fits into that deck very well, so we're going to be pretty sad that we didn't pick any of those Infused Guardians earlier. Nothing here for us, nothing here either. So we're at a difficult position at the moment because we don't know if we are Ixton or if we are Aurelian. The Coastal Beastmasters really want to pull us into Ixton, and the Keratin Steward kind of wants to pull us into Aurelian. We don't have any great relics at this point, so maybe it would be silly to keep forcing into Aurelian when there's just a Rakano Stranger here. So I think I'm just going to take the Rakano Stranger. I think it's going to be better than Storm Glider for us. We're going to need the fixing. We're going to need the 2-drops. So I think Rakano Stranger makes sense. There are a lot of good time cards here. We could play Wormstone. We don't have any spells to play to get the Wormstone to pop. There's also Shadowlands Bone Picker, which is great late game. There's Elysian Banner, which is good fixing. And then there's Vanquisher's Blade, which could be the right pick here. The awkward thing about Vanquisher's Blade here is we don't know if Justice is our splash. I think it probably is the strongest card, so it's probably worth taking here, but it does, I'm a little nervous just because it's double Justice, and the Shadowlands Bone Picker could be on plan too, but let's take the Vanquisher's Blade. Of all the cards available here to us, I think Granite Acolyte is just better than the rest, so we're just going to pick that. Really good synergy with Shadowlands Border Scout, so very happy to see that. Ooh, Amethyst Acolyte is nice, Seasoned Spelunker is nice if you were an Aurelian. Those are two great cards. Even Flash Freeze is good. Don't think we really want another 5-drop since we've already got 2 Coastal Beastmasters. The Sky Crew does give us some staying power if we flood out and need a way to close out a game. But I think Flash Freeze is a good trick, so I think we'll just take that here. Oh man, this is a really hard pick. We've got Skycrag Stranger, which is helping fixing for both of our factions. We've got Rebel Sharpshooter, which is great with Granite Acolyte. And we've got Magma Javelin as good removal and another Flash Freeze. I'm going to go for the 2-drop here that fixes for us. Seems like we're definitely in the Ixtun shell at this point, so I'm going to take these other cards out and get focused and take the Skycrag Stranger. Take another Skycrag Stranger here. Doesn't hurt to have great fixing. Dragon Breath is pretty good removal. Magma Javelin's good as well. And Hail Shrieker, not really excited about it. So it's between Dragon Breath and Magma Javelin for me. The cool thing about Dragon Breath is it does trigger Renown. So I think I'm going to take that over the Javelin at this point. Especially because it's possible that Fire is going to be our splash. We'll just take the Scaly Gruon here. Hopefully we don't have to play it, but if we do, it's not the worst thing in the world. Don't think we'll play Gift of Battle, but we'll take it here. Talon Dive is fine. Probably won't play it though. Alright, so we didn't see much at the end of that pack, and there's really not that much here for us. Kind of think we just take Topaz Drake. I think Celestial Omen is too slow. Bolt Crafter Shaman, not exciting. So yeah, we'll just take the Topaz Drake here. Bright Mace Paladin is a nice pickup. Magma Javelin is good as well. There is Champion of Wisdom. Like maybe we were supposed to be in Aurelian. But I don't think this deck looks bad at all at the moment. Yeah, I'm just going to take Bright Mace Paladin here. I think Voracious Fosora is a fine 3-drop in this situation. Coastal Battle Mage is quite good, so we're happy to see that. Power Glider. All these cards seem pretty bad for us, so I'm just going to take the rare in this situation. I think Stalwart Shield is fine for us. It's not great, but I don't think it hurts at all, and we are lacking on 4-drops. So yeah, we'll take the Stalwart Shield here. Another Skycrag Stranger is great fixing. We'll love to have that. I think we would play Canary before we play Arcane Defense, so we'll take Canary here. And then a whole lot of nothing for us. Another Scaly Gruon. Maybe. Hopefully not. Yeah, I think we could have had a pretty decent Aurelian deck. But by no means am I upset. Skycrag Scalebreaker is fantastic. I think it's definitely the pick here. Conflagrate is good, but Skycrag Scalebreaker just seems like a total bomb. And we get the Conflagrate anyway. Could take Defiance. Guess I'm going to take the Defiant just because it seems like Fire is our splash. Coastal Recruit, I think, is probably fine here. Our other option is basically Starved Vorlunk. If this had Pledge, like maybe it's playable, but I don't think it is because it doesn't. Fledgling Aviasaur, don't think it's playable either. I think these cards are about equal in power level. We have really good fire fixing, so I'm not that worried about playing it on 3. We do have a ton of 3-drops. This could be like a late game finisher, but a really weird one. Guess I'm going to just take Fireheart Recruit for more consistent pledge. Parry's fantastic. Bare Arms is fantastic. Probably just parry though. Yeah, let's take the parry. Court Mage is good. We don't have many 4-drops and it's also pledge, so we like that. Lazy Firemane is better than Magmatic Sentinel. And then a whole bunch of cards we won't play. Beach Boy, Infused Guardian. So yeah, we probably could have had a really good Aurelion deck. And a lot of autopilot picks here because we kind of forced our way into Ixten. And it looks like we basically have our deck already. So the things I'm thinking about at this point are, is it possible that we actually want to play some other spells or attachments rather than 21 units? 21 units is a lot. I usually don't like to play that many, especially with some of our guys having Renown. We want to be able to trigger that as much as possible. Mass Entomancy might make the cut. Talon Dive could be okay. Gift of Battle. Yeah, I think it's just Entomancy and then cutting probably a 3-drop. I think our worst one is probably Voracious Fossora. So it would just look like something like this. So we've got 3 double primal cards, 1 double justice card, and then everything else is single. Did we get any fixing in the power? We did not. So we'll just add power. I'm wondering if 18 power is too much in this deck. If maybe we should go down to 17. So this is 10 primal, 6, 7 justice, 5, 9 fire. So I think if we do that, we could play 1 more card if we want to. Gift of Battle does trigger Renown, so that is kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm going to play it even though I don't normally play it. So the reason I'm going to play Gift of Battle here is just because it's another Renown trigger. I wouldn't normally play this card. I don't think it's very good, but given that we don't have a ton of attachments and this is another way to trigger Renown, I think it's reasonable. I also don't think we need 18 power for this deck. Topaz Drake is our top end and it's at 7. Nothing else in our deck costs beyond 5 basically, so it would be silly to play 18 power. I think this is our deck. Just want to close out the drafting and deck building portion of episode 4 by saying thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. Next, we'll go into the games video. I hope you'll join me for that to see how the deck actually performs.